Shabbat Shalom. I'm here in the north of Israel, in the military reserve duty. And this Shabbat, we read and study Parashat Vayishlach. I'd like to share a few brief points with you. Today, I want to focus on two different points, two different verses, which together complete one another. The perfection of faithfulness and gratitude and military perfection. We live the balance between the faith and the physical reality. The first verse I want to talk about is the prayer that Jacob prays to God before his encounter with Esau, his brother. The prayer itself begins from chapter 32, verse 10. I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become two camps. I like this verse because it's also a famous Israeli song. I'll share a link in the comments below. Jacob fled. He fled empty-handed, without anything, having endured many trials. And on his way back to the promised land, he remembers the one who protected him, sustained him, and even made him wealthy. How long do we remember a favor that has been done to us? To be grateful from the bottom of our hearts, we need to admit the truth, that we would not have succeeded without the help. We are people who need help. And the gift we receive from Yeshua is majestic. Jacob remembered all the good that God gave him and felt unworthy. I am unworthy of all the kindness, he says. Do we remember Yeshua enough? The one who gave us the gift of life? Especially while in the reserve military duty, I keep finding myself stopping and thinking, what a great thing God is doing here. Without a doubt, it's only thanks to God's promises that we return to the promised land. We reestablished the state of Israel. And now, I am part of the army of Israel, fulfilling the prophecies of the Bible. It is not easy to comprehend the full size of the blessing and the gift that God has given us here. The second verse is from Genesis 32:7. It mentioned that Jacob was in great fear and distress. Rashi interprets this verse in a very interesting way. In fear means that Jacob was afraid of death. In distress means that Jacob was in distress, that he might kill others if indeed a war had broken out between him and Esau. I think this interpretation adds value to thoughts about the army. A healthy army, a moral army, high-quality army must have these 2 points. On the one hand, the desire for life, and on the other, the unwillingness to kill. Soldiers must be afraid of death. We must want to return home after the battlefield. There should be something worth fighting for. God gave us life, and it's holy, and it's good. It's a gift. Furthermore, we must understand the sanctity of life towards others. A soldier who is bloodthirsty is not a good soldier. He seeks the quarrel, war, death. We must seek peace, coexistence, but even as such, we realize that there is a real need for self-defense. A soldier who acts out of self-defense is a good soldier. He is a soldier who fears death and tries to prevent death from reaching his family, his friends, his people. But also, there is the obligation to prevent unnecessary destruction and harm towards others. We believe in the sanctity of life. No Syrian child would dare stand in front of a Syrian army tank and throw stones at it. But a Palestinian child does this against an Israeli tank because he knows the moral difference between the teams of the two tanks. And the extensive use made by terrorist organizations in Gaza, the West Bank, in Lebanon, of human shields by locating their headquarters and their means of dispatch within civilian population, inside of schools and hospitals, is in itself proof of their own belief in the high level of morality of the IDF. Otherwise, there would be no use in using human shields. We believe in the sanctity of life. I am proud to be part of the IDF. On the one hand, we are here to guard our homes and to stop terror. And on the other hand, we believe in the sanctity of life and learn and apply the purity of arms and humanity even in combat. I will add a link to the Purity of Arms wiki. I am proud to be part of the fulfillment of prophecy. Shabbat Shalom.